Pat Bowlen has been unanimously elected. Are you on the committee now?
No.
I don't think anybody from the Post is, since I quit.
I was going to say, you probably were at one point.
Yeah, and I quit because they wouldn't consider any of the people I ever brought up. And
now you have a show you
said
can
the other day,
campaign
the
for.
vote always was 3-1 because there was one guy who was in charge that would say, I want this guy in the Hall of Fame, and there were two guys that were always on his side. And I go, well, wait a second. Or I'd say, I raised this guy. And Pat Bowlen, who was head of the committee, was like, no, because he started it.
Yeah, he started
when
the
he
Ring of
came here
Fame.
in '84, and I was on the committee, and I would try to get in Riley Odoms and Rick Upchurch, and I told the story, but if you really enjoy it, I said Riley Odoms was the best tight end until Shannon Sharp got here. He was their first real good tight end. He made the Pro Bowl 4 or 5 times. He belongs in there. And so other people on the committee said, well, we don't want to put any more of the old guys in there. And I said, because we got too many old guys already in there. I said, well, let's take out that kicker and put Riley in his place. And that didn't go over very well.
Take out a guy out of the Ring of Fame. We reconsidered. Can you imagine mailing that letter off to his
By vote
family?
of 3-1, we've decided to take you out of the Ring of Fame.
That would
So
be
anyway, I quit. But that's it. It said he was. Of course, he belongs there. They should do it as quickly as they possibly can. Except for that, though, since the draft, there's been, and the injury to a draft choice, it's almost like they're too quiet over there. Is there something going on that we, and you would have written it if there was something going on. But I mean, is this just a dead period, as they call it in college recruiting, where people are going over from vacations and kind of get a, I mean, they've had the mini camps, but.
We have less access to them right now. And the focus from the draft, from the week building to the draft and through the draft, was on the rookies. And so that's why you don't sense, like, why isn't there more Peyton Manning stories, or why isn't there more, Emmanuel Sanders? Well, we don't see them. And those practices are not open to us, and we're not around them. But obviously the Peyton Manning stories of interest, we want to see him more and see, but we haven't, other than him stretching and doing drills a few times. But there's not that sense. I mean, they're busy doing the draft picks and the free agent, that tryout camp. I mean, in terms of in-house, that was more of their focus. And all the draft picks are now signed. We've been reporting on that all day. All 3 7th-rounders signed. Max Garcia signed. So anyway, it's down to the first-round pick, Shane Ray. His contract will be different because it'll have that 5th-year option as a first-round choice. And Jeff Hireman. I get asked about Hireman because he's the one who blew out his knee. I mean, just a devastating injury. Unfortunate. Nothing has changed with his situation, Woody. He'll get the same contract as he would have. I mean, some
slotted
people,
one.
they slot him in as a 3rd-rounder. They sign him. Nothing will change. And that's a fair question, because they got hurt. I mean, in theory, you could not sign him, but they're not going to do that. Just like you saw Dante Fowler sign. Yeah. They're formulaic contracts now. They're collectively bargained. But Hireman will be signing soon. He hasn't yet, but he will be signing.
This portion of The Big Stuff is brought to you by Grand Prix Motorsports, your source for the original motorcycle, Indian motorcycles. Check out the newest line of Indian motorcycles. There was a whole movie written about Indian motorcycles, and I forgot the guy.
My dad was in this movie as an extra. His car, one of his cars. My dad races out at Bonneville. Ed Renck, my father, hello. He races out there, and he's set with, what's the actor's name, the famous actor?
Yeah,
from
that's
Hannibal,
what I was about to
Hannibal
ask you.
Lecter. What's his name?
Hannibal Lecter.
What's that? No, it's Hopkins, right?
Yeah.
He's so my dad sat and had lunch with him one day out there, and they filmed. So my dad's car is in one of the scenes of the famous Indian motorcycle.
So if you ever see the movie Indian Motorcycle, look for Troy's father's car and his tires. Grand Prix Motorsports on County Line and Santa Fe. And today, who do we have? Do we have a picture of one of? Oh, there's Mike. Boy, he's a happy owner. He's been on that motorcycle for a couple of weeks. They need to send us. I'm sure they've sold some more motorcycles since then. That is a great, great motorcycle. That's like if you look at it, that's a retro Indian motorcycle, like Anthony Hopkins rode in the movie.
Those things ride like cars too. Those big ones like that now.